Welcome, Scorpio, to the month of November 2018. I'm Megan of North Star Astrology, and this is another general transits reading for those of you born with your sun, moon, and rising signs in the water sign of Scorpio. Now, the month starts out with Venus sextiling the moon in Leo from your 12th to your 10th houses. So at 4:38. So when the moon is in your 10th house of career and public standing, and the planet Venus is in your 12th house of dreams and the subconscious mind, with this positively pleasant 60-degree sextiling aspect between the two, your emotions concerning your career and your love of kind of wanting to balance your alone time and maybe somewhat isolate yourself is a good thing. Very good thing. You're going to need some time to refresh yourself or recharge for the coming month. As it is actually your month. You're going to really shine this month. And then on November 4th, 2 days later, the planet Jupiter sextiles the moon. Once the moon comes into your 11th house of friendships, and then gently, positively sextiles. I'm just trying to straighten that. Okay, so moon goes into Virgo, into your 11th house of friendships, hopes, goals, and wishes, and sextiles Jupiter in your sign, by the way, since the first house, Jupiter in the first house, starts out this month of November in Scorpio, your sign, in your first house of the self and body. And here you see it's sextiling the moon in Virgo. So earth, water. You're a water sign, Virgo's an earth sign. And emotionally, you're going to feel very largely positive about yourself and your dealings with your friends. However, be mindful about overindulgence. Even with a sextile, be mindful about overindulgence, as Jupiter transiting your first house can cause weight gain. But you'll see it will change soon. Then on November 6th, Venus in Libra conjuncts, makes a 0 to 8 degree conjunction in your 12th house of the subconscious mind. And now there's even more of a need to go within almost, as we are building toward the new moon. Then on November 6th as well, Uranus in your opposite sun sign of Taurus, having been transiting your 7th house of others and significant partnerships and business partners, moves into Aries, into your 6th house of work and health at 19 hours 1 minute, retrograding, and won't go direct until upon January 6th, 2019, at which time, or a little further past that, it moves back into Taurus at 17 hours and 38 minutes. Or excuse me, that's not where that goes in. Uranus moves back into Taurus on March 6th, 2019. Then, also on November 6th, the north node of the moon makes its way into the sign of Cancer, into your 9th house of law and higher learning and long-distance travels at 17 hours 38 minutes. And eventually will make its way into the sign of Gemini on May 5th, 2020. Then on November 7th, the new moon occurs. As I was mentioning, having Venus and the moon in your 12th house will make you feel like you want to go within. Now again, the new moon occurring at 16 hours and 3 minutes and or 15 degrees your sign, Scorpio, at 11 minutes into the day of November 7th. 15 degrees, 11 minutes, Scorpio. A time for yourself to go within and recharge for yourself and body. Then on November 8th, Jupiter in your sign makes an inconjunct, which I don't have an aspect thingy or tag for because it's such an infrequent aspect, a very rare aspect for this month. But however, Jupiter inconjuncts 5 houses, 5 signs away, the planet Uranus, making your Jupiter in Scorpio largely feel a bit of a brief inadequacy feeling and or inferior in the workforce, or something to do with your health may make you feel like you're not feeling up to par or something like that, because I've seen it in a longtime friend of mine's natal chart, and an inconjunct, or also known as a quincunx, is an aspect that sometimes is a very trying, almost disabling aspect, because like this person or friend of mine is a guitarist, but he's never quite sure of his abilities to be perfect enough. So it's going to make you feel like you're not perfect enough for the position, even though you are. You know what I'm saying? You're a genius, but you're not sure you are. It's such a frustrating aspect. Okay, moving right along, on November 8th as well, Mars in your 4th house in Aquarius squares that new moon as the new moon builds toward the first quarter phase. And so now you will also feel a challenge to your home life within yourself. Yourself will feel frustration within your home. Maybe you're wishing, like myself, maybe you're wishing you had a better experience or a better home situation. But maybe you feel like you're not receiving enough money or have enough money to move. That sort of thing. Like what I'm going through. Anywho, then on November 8th as well, now Jupiter moves out of your sign and enters your second house in the sign of Sagittarius, where it's naturally comfortable, as Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And now luck will come in the form of money and how you earn it, and or what you value. You'll have a lot of luck now on November 8th and beyond, now that Jupiter will be transiting your second house. And then on November 11th, Uranus in Aries, Uranus in Aries, now that it transited into Aries. Now Uranus trines the moon. Once the moon goes into your second house, into Sagittarius. So now from the fiery sign of Sagittarius, fire. So from your sixth to your second houses, now with Jupiter having been or gone into your second house, you now have this very harmonious ability to create sudden windfalls, as emotionally you will be feeling an upsurge or charge of recharge, and mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually, you'll feel emotionally the ability to uniquely create more money. And you'll have sudden windfalls, perhaps bonuses at work. Then, on November 13th, Uranus Uranus squares the moon so from your third house to your sixth house. Now the moon is in your third house of communications and now squares Uranus in your sixth house of work, and you will be feeling like emotionally perhaps a bit discontent in work, in terms of how you feel and how people are either communicating with you or how people perceive the way you communicate, as you can sometimes be a bit stinging, especially with your ruling planet Pluto having just recently gone direct in your third house of communications. Then, not to say that you're going to, but in the third house where it's there, Then on in the middle of the month, on November 15th, the first quarter phase moon occurs at 14 hours 55 minutes and or 23 degrees Aquarius 11 minutes. And so things within the home start to pick up. And then also on November 15th, Mars, having been transiting your fourth house of the home in Aquarius, now moves into the fifth house of romance and creativity, into the sign of Pisces, the other water sign to you. And that happens at 22 hours, 22 minutes. And this will give you much more gentle actions toward a possible new romance, or give you more of a spiritual flair to your art, if you're an artist, or some sort of creativity that you're involved in. Then the following day, November 16th, on November 16th, Uranus sextiles that first quarter moon, as the moon is still now building its way toward the full moon. And with this, from the 4th to the 6th houses, the first quarter moon, with this 60-degree aspect to the planet of sudden changes, you will be able to ask, or emotionally you will be able to feel that your work is supporting your home life. That's how I see that there. Oopsie. And then on November 16th as well, Venus stations direct at 10 hours 52 minutes in your 12th house. Whatever that might mean for you. And then on the following day, November 17th, Mercury goes retrograde. So November 17th, be very mindful of what you sign, read over any documents for the next several weeks, as it will be retrograde until, let's see, I'm looking it up. Mercury will be retrograde until it goes direct on December 6th, 2018. So it'll be retrograde for a short time, but still be careful of what you read. Make sure to read it over thoroughly before you sign anything. And that happened at, or will happen at 11:34 on November 17th. Then on the following day, November 18th, the sun in your sign still, in Scorpio, harmoniously trines the moon in Pisces. So from your 5th to your 1st house, from your 5th, I had my pointer just opposite of what I was saying. Oh my goodness. I'm still waking up. Okay, so from your 5th, I'm doing it again. From your 1st to your 5th house. Oh my God. The moon in Pisces harmoniously trines your sun, the sun, in Scorpio. Okay. And so with this very harmonious trine, you can see that emotionally you will be feeling quite harmonious about and toward yourself, about your body, with your romantic partner. So you'll be feeling good about yourself, maybe out and about and being seen by others. And with your romantic partner, you'll be feeling good about yourself. That's how I see that. Now, then on November 20th, Uranus conjuncts or makes the 0 to 8 degree very close together the two, Moon and Uranus, in the fire sign of Aries, making you emotionally impulsive at work. Not a bad thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it's maybe possibly a very good thing too. You can be seen as very energetic, emotionally, like wee. So, if you're ordinarily, just so serious or something, then on November 22nd, the sun now leaves your sign and enters Sagittarius. Now the sun enters your second house of money and what you value. The sun enters Sagittarius at 9:03. Then too, also on November 22nd, Pluto, your ruling planet, harmoniously trines the moon once the moon enters Taurus. So from your 7th to your 3rd houses, your ruling planet Pluto in your 3rd house harmoniously trines the moon, the grounded moon in Taurus, in your opposite sun sign of Taurus, and makes a very harmonious trine between your emotions within the 7th house of others and your significant relationships or significant partnership of marriage, if you're married. Your emotions will be very harmonious with the way in which you communicate, as it may be very insightful what you say, very beautiful, almost otherworldly perhaps. Then on November 23rd, the full moon occurs in your 8th house in Gemini at 5 hours 40 minutes and or at 0 degrees Gemini 52 minutes. And since this is your naturally residing house, Scorpions, and yet you have Gemini on its cusp, say, in other words, if this were the flat chart and you had Aries here on the 1st, then your sign of Scorpio would be on the 8th. So this is why this is your naturally residing house, and with the full moon there, you will feel that others' resources are coming to your aid, and it will be very beneficial. Whew, look at that. See, to your 2nd house of money. Then, on November 25th, Neptune stations direct at 1:09 in Pisces, in your 5th house of romance and creativity. So how this may affect you, I don't really know, because it's just a general reading, and as everyone is so very different, if their other rising or ascending signs are of a different sign, or if their moon is of a different sign, this could be anything for you, as it's just general. However, it affects most Scorpio risings, that is, if Neptune goes direct in your 5th house. Then also on November 25th, Uranus makes the 60-degree sextile to the waning full moon. So from your 6th to your 8th houses now, Uranus in your 6th house of work, health, and service given in Aries sextiles the full moon, giving you a very big boost up again, as once again you very well may be receiving additional resources, as in another very good raise at work from your higher ups or other authorities. Then on November 27th, Uranus squares the moon in Cancer, as now the moon has come around into your 9th house, and now from your 6th to your 9th house is this challenging but much needed impetus to emotionally, possibly, you may be asked to work at a different location for your job project or something or other. You may be asked to work overseas. And you may not like it too much. You may find at first, you may not like it at first, but you'll realize that it pays more or something, but you may have to commute further. That's where I see that. Then, on November 29th, Jupiter, now in Sagittarius, makes a semi-square, and I don't have one of those for that. I don't have one of these aspect thingies for a semi-square because it's a very rare, infrequent aspect, but it semi-squares nonetheless, making a 45-degree aspect between your ruling planet Pluto and Jupiter. So it's so close between the planet of luck and your ruling planet, the outer planet of Pluto, in your 3rd house. And I'm not quite sure how that will affect you, but it happens at 4:29. But maybe it's largely due to how you're communicating, and I'm not even really quite sure how that's, truthfully, honestly, I don't know how that's going to affect you. But then on November 29th as well, Uranus trines the moon in Leo once the moon comes full circle and goes into your 10th house of career and also the house of the ego. However, since the moon has come full circle in the sign of Leo, the other fixed sign, your fixed water, Leo's fixed air, this harmonious trine won't affect your ego much. It will be much more for you toward whatever it is that you do in your career, and it will be a genius. There may be genius ideas that you come through with, and it won't be considered boastful. In other words, it will be considered playful and or awesome, or something sudden to do with it'll be wonderful. It's just going to be harmonious all around for everyone concerned and not just for yourself. And then finally, the last quarter moon occurs in your 11th house of friendships, hopes, goals, wishes, in Virgo at 0 hours 20 minutes and or 7 degrees Virgo 43 minutes. And this last quarter moon wraps up our reading. And so I hope very much that you have a very happy Thanksgiving. You are here and here and here. Go in peace. Have a wonderful, pleasant Thanksgiving. Please feel free to like, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Feel free to subscribe. And until we see each other next month, take care. Bye for now.